All right, so in this video today, I am going to be discussing getting out of credit card debt, as I believe it's a big issue. It's holding a lot of Canadians back, and I do believe it's a topic that needs to be discussed. If you don't know who I am, my name is Kenny Johnson. I'm located here in Montreal, Quebec. I actually operate a credit repair company. We help Canadians in pretty much every province fix and rebuild their credit. If you are new to this channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. So getting straight into the topic, so if you don't have any collections, if you don't have any judgments, no bankruptcies, or anything in your public records section of your credit report, then you actually don't have bad credit. What I typically tell my clients is that what you truly have is a budgeting issue. You don't have a budget, so all of your credit cards are maxed out. Now, what I recommend for someone in your situation is to start off with a budget. That is step number one. The budgeting tool that I use is the EveryDollar budgeting app. I love this app, and I'm not being paid to say this or anything like that. I love this app because it's extremely user friendly and it's simply plug and play. Literally, you can just plug in your information and you see it right in front of you. It's not an intimidating Excel document that you have to go through or use. Really just take the time and sit down and create your first budget. Your first budget is going to be extremely inaccurate. It's not going to have true information. So for example, when I had my first budget, I was so far off on how much I spent with groceries. I think when I created my first budget, I put in that I was going to spend like $300 for groceries. And then when I actually went through my full first month of having my budget, I realized I was spending like $600, right, to feed myself and my family. So once you have a budget, it really puts you into reality of how much you're spending on a constant basis. So what I like to do in my ritual is every Sunday I sit down and I go through each one of my accounts, each one of my credit cards, each one of my banking accounts, and I'm looking at the money that was taken out, the expenses that was charged to those accounts, and I'm literally on paper, I'm writing it down. I don't need to do this because I do have the EveryDollar budgeting app, but I do this because I like to have backup. Because, for example, EveryDollar budgeting app could crash one day, so I have that in writing just in case, and I'm just that kind of person. So I write down all of the information, okay? I write down all my expenses for that week, and then after I have written down the information, I then plug it into the app. I do the same thing for my business because it's something that works. Whatever you do financially for your personal life, you should also do for your business if it's working, right? What I do personally works for me and it helps me stay on top of my money. So it's something I'll also do for my business. So make sure you have a budget in place. That's the first thing. After you have a budget in place, and again, this is for people that are in debt. You are in debt, you need to get out of it as quickly as possible because interest is your biggest enemy. So after I write down every week my expenses, I know how much money I have coming in. I then know how much I'm able to save on a monthly basis. After I know how much I'm able to save on a monthly basis, then I am going to save up my first emergency fund. Okay, this is what you should do. The second step, save your first emergency fund, at least $1,000. This isn't going to be something that you can survive off of. This isn't supposed to be something that's supposed to last you for the rest of your life. Obviously not, right? It's only $1,000. The $1,000 is going to be there for if you get a flat tire, if someone in your family gets sick, or maybe the money that you were expecting to come in didn't really come in all the way through. So now you have $1,000 you can just take out from. Okay, so we need to have $1,000 at least saved up for an emergency savings account. That is step number 2. After those 2 steps, the next thing is we need to start attacking the debt. Now, what I'm sharing with you guys is nothing new. This is something that's been popularized from Dave Ramsey. And the only reason why I'm sharing this information is because I've taken that information, I've used it for myself, and I saw what it's done for my life. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I believe in everything that Dave Ramsey says. I'm a credit guy, so I use credit, I leverage credit. But I have been able to take what I learned from that side and implement it to where it could help me. And even if you don't take everything that I'm saying, take the necessary things from this, apply it to your life and see what helps. And again, I just hope it helps anybody that's watching this video. So after you saved your $1,000, then we want to start focusing on the debt, okay? We're going to start with the smallest debt. So let's just say we have 3 credit cards that we're dealing with. One is $2,000, one is $1,000, and the last one is only $500 in debt. And all of these cards are maxed out, okay? And I'm keeping the numbers very simple just so we can keep the video very straightforward. So if I am going to start repaying this debt, I'm going to start with that $500 credit card that is maxed out. Now, let's say on a monthly basis, I am saving $500. And we want to make sure that the money we're able to save on a monthly basis is at least $500. You can also call this your cash flow. This is money that you expect to keep in your pocket every month, okay? Now, included in my budget is also the minimum payments that I have to pay off on those first 2 credit cards. So the credit card that is $2,000 and the first credit card that is $2,000 and the second credit card that is $1,000. So let's just say the minimum monthly payment on that $2,000 is $200 per month, and the second one, which is $1,000, is $100 per month. Okay, so that's included in my budget. So if you don't know, you should go into your banking app, see what your monthly payment expectation is for that account. But I just typically, I'll leverage 10%. I'll just say it's 10% that minimum payment is going to be. Now, for that third credit card, okay, I am then going to just pay it. I'm going to throw the full $500 at that credit card. Now, I was once paying $50 a month in minimum payments to this credit card. I pay this credit card off in full. I no longer have the responsibility of paying $50 a month to this credit card because now it's paid off in full. So what now happens to that $50 is that it comes back into my pocket. So now I have a cash flow of $550. So now I can take that $550 and in the following month, okay, I'm going to take that and attack it towards that second credit card. So now that $550 per month that I have in cash flow, I'm throwing it at that second credit card. That's $1,000. So in less than 2 months, that second credit card is going to be paid off. So that second credit card that I had, I was making $100, because again, the limit was $1,000 and it was maxed out. I was making a minimum monthly payment of $100, which is 10% of that limit. That $100 I was paying on a monthly basis now comes back to my pocket, okay? And again, we're keeping all the math simple just to make a quick, clean, simple video. So now, instead of me having $550 in cash flow, now I have $650 in cash flow. So now I'm taking that $650 and now I am attacking that last credit card. Now let's keep in mind that the interest rates on credit cards on average is 22% when you're carrying a balance, which if you do the math is extremely high. So now I'm taking my $650 and I'm attacking that $2,000 credit card, okay? In less than 4 months, that credit card is going to be paid off. So we had 4 months with the most expensive credit card. We had 2 months with the second, and the first was 1 month. So 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So in 7 months, we were able to pay off 3 credit cards. Now, again, you can be more aggressive depending on your cash flow. I started off with a very low cash flow. My cash flow was only $500. You can do better than that. I really went to the bare minimum. Again, the bare minimum cash flow you should have is $500. The higher your cash flow, the faster you're going to be able to pay off those credit cards. So you want to increase your cash flow, whether that's you making more money or that's you lowering the expenses that you spend on a monthly basis. But don't think you need to eat beans and rice to be able to pay out of debt. You don't. You can live a good life. You can still go out once a week with your family members or the people that you love. You can go out and have a good time. And I'm speaking from experience. You can live a good life and pay off debt. Don't feel like you have to stop your life just to pay off these credit cards, okay? So start with the lowest debt, go to the second most, finish with the last one, or however many debts you have until you're out of debt, okay? And then what you have done is you've created a system for your money. And then you can go back and use those credit cards again. And now you won't be in a position of going into debt because now every month you're paying those credit cards off in full. If you have a credit card and you don't have a budget in place, you should not be using that credit card. You should not touch a credit card, especially if you cannot control your spending habits. And again, that's just my belief. You could be someone where you just spend it and you don't have a budget and it works for you. But I'm speaking towards the majority of people. Majority of people are not going to be able to control their spending, okay? Because we're going to get the things that we want. We're going to at least try to get the things that we want, which typically leads to overspending. So we need to have a budget in place. We need to have a system in place. Now, understanding when you first start this budget, it's going to be intimidating from the standpoint that it's not going to be easy and it's not going to be accurate. Just from my example that I had said earlier, when you first start out, that information is not going to be accurate. You're going to be spending way more on groceries. I was spending so much money on groceries. I was spending so much. I love my food. I was spending so much money on food, and I was like, okay, this is how much I spend on food. Now, am I going to dial that back? I chose not to. You can choose to dial back your spending on food. I chose not to. I was very happy with how much I was spending on food, and I was very happy with what I was eating. So I wasn't going to make that decision. But I knew and I was aware of what I was spending on a monthly basis. I was able to get myself out of debt. I was able to build and grow a sustainable business. And my business survives and thrives off of a budget. That way I am able to give my team, pay my team members what I feel like is a fair salary, because I have built a budget that not only work for my personal, but also work for my business. So if you are someone that is in credit card debt, you do have aspirations of growing a business, whatever it may be, have a budget in place, and you are going to get better with that budget over time. If you like this video and you felt like it was helpful, please like the video. Please comment your opinions, your thoughts. I would love to hear feedback from you. What could I have done to make this video better? And please subscribe to the channel, because I will be coming out with more helpful videos, because my goal is to help as many Canadians as possible with their credit, especially with the financial turmoil that this country is in. Have a good day. Take care.